We've heard of people faking pregnancies, but trying to pass a reborn baby doll off as your newborn baby is a new level of delusion. How far was this girl willing to go with this? Earlier this year, 23-year-old Kira Cousins from North Scotland informed her boyfriend Jamie Gardner, along with family and friends, that she was expecting a baby. By all accounts, Kira appeared genuinely pregnant. Over the coming months, she shared sonogram scan images, staged positive pregnancy test photos, and even wore a convincing fake pregnancy bump to mimic the physical progression of pregnancy. She frequently updated those around her about her typical pregnancy woes, texting friends about constant nausea and fatigue to just keep reinforcing this ruse. And at no point did anyone suspect it was a hoax. Not even Jamie, the baby's father-to-be, caught on that anything was amiss. All the usual milestones of pregnancy were carefully faked. Kira reportedly obtained ultrasound scanned pictures, and it's unclear if they were doctored or taken from the internet, and then proudly showed them off as proof of her baby's growth. She also posted videos on social media purportedly showing the baby kicking in her womb, and in reality, these kicks were simulated. You can't even see any kicking. There's no kicking. But later, onlookers noted that Kira's recorded baby kick looked suspiciously like she was just jostling a memory foam belly prop to imitate movement. During this time, Kira made sure to keep others at a distance whenever possible. She attended prenatal appointments alone, always finding excuses as to why Jamie or family could not accompany her. And if someone asked to feel the baby bump or later to actually hold the baby, Kira would refuse. She always had a convenient excuse ready, protecting the lie at all costs. By the midway point of her supposed pregnancy, Kira amped up theatrics with a full gender reveal party. Both her family and Jamie's family gathered to celebrate, and in a festive scene complete with colored smoke cannons, balloons, and cake, Kira announced that they were expecting a baby girl who she had already named Bonnie Lee. As the due date grew closer, Kira added a dramatic twist to her story, and she told everyone that doctors had discovered her unborn baby had a serious heart defect described as a hole in its heart. This news elicited an outpouring of sympathy and concern. Kira posted frequently about medical appointments and scares related to the baby's heart condition. Family and friends rallied around with emotional support and even material support. Many bought gifts and baby supplies for Kira, not only out of excitement, but also out of compassion for the challenges that she claimed to be facing. So over the summer, she amassed piles of baby clothes, toys, and even an expensive stroller valued around £1,000, all kindly gifted by believing loved ones. Then on October 10th, Kira informed her family that she had gone into labor and given birth in the middle of the night, supposedly all alone. She claimed the delivery was sudden and that she managed without any help. In fact, Kira even shared photos appearing to show her leaving the hospital with newborn Bonnie Lee in an infant car seat. Astonishingly, even this was fabricated. The newborn baby in the car seat was actually a lifelike reborn doll. Kira had acquired an incredibly realistic looking baby doll to serve as Bonnie Lee, complete with a pacifier, a swaddling blanket to impersonate a real infant. She brought this doll home, passing it off as her healthy newborn daughter, and got away with it for almost an entire week. In the first day or two after this birth, Kira continued the charade. She sent around pictures of the newborn and even told one cousin via text that the baby Bonnie Lee had arrived safely, making the whole family so happy at first. However, observers later noted some odd behavior. The fact that Kira never let anyone else hold or closely examine the infant, citing the baby's fragility or her own protective instincts. And the doll was remarkably detailed and could easily look like a sleeping newborn at a glance, but it did not move or make any sounds. And at one point, one family member went to take the blanket off the baby's feet, and Kira quickly covered it back up. So she was always on guard, always quick to make sure that nobody could actually touch the doll. Then within a couple of days, Kira's mother grew suspicious, and according to later accounts, Kira's mom entered her room and noticed that something was profoundly wrong. Baby Bonnie Lee was motionless and silent and cold to the touch. This was highly unusual, obviously, for a days-old infant. Additionally, Kira's extreme protectiveness, never allowing anyone to pick her up or even feed the baby, had already struck the family as odd. So acting on her gut feeling, the mother inspected the infant closely and made a shocking discovery. The baby was just a doll. She found the realistic reborn doll hidden among Kira's things, immediately realizing that Bonnie Lee did not exist as a real child. The elaborate pregnancy and birth had all been an elaborate lie. Multiple sources indicate that before the family fully caught on, Kira had attempted to conclude her hoax by claiming that the baby had died. She had informed Jamie, the baby's father, via a text message that their newborn daughter, Bonnie Lee, had tragically passed away, ostensibly due to the heart defect that she faked months prior. In other words, as soon as the baby was born, Kira invented a sudden death to avoid having to produce a living infant for any length of time. And this cruel lie was delivered before Jamie ever even got to meet the baby in person. Jamie, who had been kept away from all prenatal appointments and the birth itself, was understandably heartbroken and stunned. However, Kira's attempt to end the saga with a fabricated infant death failed, likely because her mother discovered the doll around that same time, exposing that no baby had ever existed. So once the deception was laid bare, the news spread rapidly. Feeling utterly betrayed and angry, Kira's relatives decided to publicize the story as a cautionary tale. Around October 13th to 15th, Kira's cousin Neve took to TikTok to recount the entire saga, and the video went viral. In the video, Neve explained how Kira faked everything from bump to birth and how the family discovered the reborn doll hidden in Kira's home. Multiple acquaintances alleged that this was not her first hoax. Reportedly, Kira had even faked having cancer in an earlier episode, which had also drawn sympathy until it was debunked. And overall, the public reaction oscillated between outrage, ridicule, and concern for Kira's mental health. According to family reports, Kira left her home and went to stay with her father at a different location, essentially going into hiding once the hoax became common knowledge. For days after being exposed, Kira remained silent in public. Then yesterday, on October 19th, she finally broke her silence and posted a short video on TikTok addressing the situation. Without fully excusing herself, Kira hinted at underlying issues, saying, "While I'm not condoning any behavior led by myself, I'd like to clear some things up. My family sat me down and asked me what had happened earlier in my pregnancy, which I will come out and address when I'm ready." So this cryptic remark suggests that there may have been an initial real pregnancy or trauma. Let me know if you actually believe that. But that spiraled into the extended hoax, though she did not yet reveal the details. She also added, "Don't for 1 minute think they let me get away with any of this. They haven't," indicating that her loved ones have confronted her and are insisting she face help and consequences for her actions. As for the baby doll, it's reported that she is safe and back in the custody of Temu.